Welcome, Aries. If you clicked on this video, you already feel it, that electric shift in the air. Tomorrow brings massive news. A call, a message, a sudden breakthrough that is about to completely flip your love life upside down. But here's the twist, Aries. Spirit is showing me this isn't just a random text. This is a desperate reach out from someone who completely underestimated your power. They thought your silence was temporary, but now they're realizing they are losing you, and their ego is absolutely crumbling. It's a plot twist they didn't see coming. Before we dive into exactly what this message is and why it's happening tomorrow, drop an 888 in the comments to claim this energy, and tell me where you're watching from. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss the updates. Let's get into this reading. Aries, listen, if you are watching this in August, you need to understand that the energy has completely, unequivocally shifted. I'm shuffling these cards right now, and honestly, the first thing that jumps out is this dominant, undeniable, cycle-ending energy. We are looking at a massive karmic turning point. Spirit is showing me angel number 1111 combined with the heavy, transformative energy of the Death card and Judgment. What this means, Aries, is that something has profoundly changed. And it didn't change because they suddenly woke up and decided to do the right thing. No, it changed because you pulled back. It changed because you finally detached, you healed, and you stopped doing the one thing they had grown so incredibly used to. You stopped chasing them. I'm not gonna lie, the second you took your foot off the gas, the entire dynamic of this connection flipped on its head. You have been the initiator, the fighter, the one holding the torch for this relationship for so long. And in August, that energy is just gone. But it's not gone in a defeated way. It's gone in an empowered, I know my worth kind of way. You stopped pouring your endless fire into a cup that had holes in the bottom. And that silence, that beautiful, deafening withdrawal, that is the exact turning point for this entire situation. Let's talk about what you've been through, though, because I really need to validate you here. Aries, you gave real love to this person. I'm talking about the raw, unfiltered, loyal to a fault kind of love that only an Aries can give. You were emotionally carrying this connection. You were the one staying up late worrying about them, trying to figure out what was wrong, trying to fix the communication, trying to bridge the gap. And honestly, you were undervalued. You were deeply, profoundly misunderstood. They took your passion for granted. They mistook your loyalty for a guarantee that you would always be there, no matter how poorly they behaved. They thought your fire would just keep burning without them having to add any wood to the flame. But here is the thing about an Aries who has had enough. When you pull back, it is seismic. Your energy doesn't just shrink, it redirects. And that is exactly what they are feeling right now. The absence of your energy is hitting them like a freight train. You were the emotional safety net for this person, Aries, even if they didn't want to admit it at the time. You were the peace in their storm, the one person who would tell them the truth, the one person who actually saw them. And when you withdrew, when you finally said, "I'm not doing this anymore," the silence became a mirror. And mirrors are terrifying for people who haven't done their shadow work. Suddenly, without your energy to lean on, they are left sitting with themselves. And they do not like what they see. Spirit is showing me that your withdrawal forced an awakening in them. It forced a realization. They didn't fully understand your worth when you were right in front of them, pouring your heart out, because human nature sometimes gets blind to what is consistent. But the second that consistency broke, the second you went quiet, oh, they felt it. The emotional turn here, Aries, is that your pain is transforming into your greatest power. The wound of being taken for granted is healing, and in its place is this radiant, almost intimidating aura of self-respect. You went from being the chaser to being completely untouchable. And honestly, that shift is what is bringing them to their knees right now. They are realizing that they mishandled a once-in-a-lifetime connection. They are realizing that the love you gave them wasn't just something they could absorb and discard, it was a privilege. I'm seeing this so clearly. It's like they were walking in a brightly lit room this whole time, taking the light for granted, and then you flipped the switch off. Now they are stumbling in the dark, desperately searching for the light switch. The tables have turned, Aries. You are no longer the one waiting by the phone. You are no longer the one overanalyzing their texts. You have stepped into a new frequency, a frequency where you are no longer accepting breadcrumbs. Your withdrawal was the ultimate boundary. And Spirit wants you to know that it worked. It didn't just protect your peace, it shattered their illusion. They thought they had all the time in the world to figure it out, to play their games, to keep you on the hook. But August is bringing a massive reality check for them. The reality is, they are losing you. Or, perhaps, they have already lost you. And that realization is forcing a level of emotional maturity and clarity that they have never accessed before. The silence broke their ego, and now the truth is setting in. They know they messed up. They know the peace they lost. And they're scrambling internally. Let's move into chapter 2, because this is where the energy gets incredibly fascinating. Aries, I want you to really lean into what I'm about to say, because Spirit is showing me a massive glow-up happening for you right now in August. And honestly, it's not just a physical glow-up, even though I do feel like you've been looking incredible lately. It's an energetic, magnetic, spiritual elevation. You have become so private. You have become so grounded. The Aries energy is naturally fiery, naturally expressive. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. We are the pioneers. We rush in. But right now, Spirit is showing me that you have pulled your energy back into your own sacral space. You are no longer bleeding out your energy for everyone else. You have become a mystery. Even the people who think they know you best are looking at you like, who is this? Because you've gone quiet. And let me tell you, your silence is loud. I'm not gonna lie, when an Aries goes quiet, the whole room feels it. It's like the sun suddenly being covered by clouds. Everyone looks up wondering where the warmth went. But you didn't go cold. You just redirected your fire inward. You started tending to your own internal flame instead of using it to keep other people warm. And that redirection? That is making you magnetic. People can feel this shift. Your friends can feel it, your family can feel it, and most importantly, they can feel it. Your person. Let's bring in some tarot energy here, because the cards are jumping out at me. We have the High Priestess, the Empress, and the Hermit. Aries, do you see the pattern here? This is the ultimate trio of divine feminine magnetism and introspection. The High Priestess is your intuition right now. You are knowing things without being told. You are sensing the shifts in the energy field before any words are even spoken. The Empress is your abundance, your self-worth, your divine alignment. You are finally realizing that you are the prize. And the Hermit is your withdrawal. You went into the cave to find your own light, instead of waiting for someone else to bring you a torch. Emotionally, what this means in this connection is profound. Because your person was so used to the Empress energy being readily available to them. They were used to your warmth, your passion, your nurturing fire. But now, they are met with the High Priestess. They are met with a wall of intuition that they cannot penetrate. They can't read your mind anymore. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're feeling, and they certainly don't know if you still want them. And that uncertainty? It is absolutely intoxicating to them. Listen, human psychology is wild. The moment someone thinks they have you completely figured out, the moment they think your loyalty is guaranteed, they stop putting in the effort. But the second you step into your mystery, the second you become the High Priestess who holds her secrets close to her chest, suddenly they are fascinated. Suddenly they are intimidated. They are realizing that they cannot play the same games with you anymore because you aren't even on the same playing field. You have spiritually elevated above the drama, above the ego battles, above the back and forth. And here is where we have a subtle emotional turn. They are watching you. Oh, they are watching you. Spirit is showing me a very strong watcher/observer dynamic here. This person is checking your social media. They are asking about you. They are energetically checking in on you even if they aren't physically doing it. They are fascinated by this new version of you. They see you moving on. They see you glowing. They see you unbothered. And honestly, it's intimidating for them. Because they know this version of you doesn't need them. The old version of Aries might have wanted them, might have chased them, but this new version? You are completely whole without them. And that realization is terrifying for an ego that was feeding off your attention. They are looking at you like, wait, I thought I had them forever. I thought they would never leave. Who is this person who doesn't even blink when I walk away? The dynamic has completely shifted from you being the one observed and evaluated to you being the one holding the magnifying glass. You are the one assessing them now, and they can feel that you are no longer accepting the bare minimum. They know that if they want to step back into your energy, they are going to have to bring their absolute A game. Because the Empress does not entertain fools. The Empress does not entertain breadcrumbs. I'm feeling this so strongly in my chest. It's a feeling of them being completely captivated by your indifference. They used to think your fire was cute, maybe a little overwhelming, but they took it for granted. Now, your fire is contained, controlled, and aimed entirely at your own life, your own goals, your own healing. And they are standing on the outside, looking through the window, realizing the house is locked and they don't have the key anymore. The Hermit energy I mentioned earlier isn't just about you, though. It's also reflecting back to them. Because while you went into your hermit mode to heal and find your light, they are being forced into a hermit mode of their own. But their hermit mode isn't peaceful. Their hermit mode is full of regret, reflection, and overthinking. They are sitting alone with their thoughts, replaying every single time you reached out and they ignored you. Every time you offered your heart and they casually deflected. They are doing the shadow work now because your absence forced them into the shadows. And Spirit is showing me that they are realizing the peace, the loyalty, the emotional safety that you brought into their life. They are comparing every single person, every single situation, every single interaction to the standard you set. And honestly, everything else is falling short. They are realizing that the love you gave them wasn't just average, it was rare. It was the kind of love that holds you down when the world is falling apart. And they let it slip through their fingers because they were too busy feeding their own ego. But here is the thing, Aries. This isn't about them coming back just to drain you again. This is about them having a genuine awakening. They are seeing you as this elevated, untouchable being, and it's forcing them to look at their own internal state. They know they mishandled the connection. They know they undervalued you. The Watcher dynamic is no longer just them keeping tabs on you. It's them studying you, trying to figure out how they can possibly make amends for the damage they've done. You have become the standard. And that, Aries, is your greatest power right now. You didn't have to argue. You didn't have to scream. You didn't have to write paragraphs. You just had to pull back, step into your Empress energy, and let the silence do the talking. Let's move into chapter 3, because now we need to talk about the elephant in the room. The external drama. Aries, I'm gonna be real with you here. Spirit is showing me that there has been some serious interference in this connection. And I need you to listen carefully, because this is important. We are dealing with ego. We are dealing with pride. We are dealing with fear. And honestly, I'm also picking up on some karmic attachments that have been lingering in the background of this situation. There is external drama here, and it has been a major factor in why things played out the way they did. Let me pull some cards here. Okay, the Devil card just fell out, alongside the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. Aries, this tells me everything. The Devil energy here is representing the toxic attachments, the karmic loops, the addictive patterns that your person has been caught in. This could be a third-party situation. It could be an unhealthy attachment to an ex. It could be family drama that has been pulling them in a million different directions. Whatever it is, it has been serving as a distraction. A wall. A barrier between the two of you. And the 5 of Swords? That is the ego battles. That is the unnecessary conflict, the pride, the need to be right instead of being happy. Your person has been fighting battles that didn't need to be fought. They have been so caught up in defending their ego, in protecting their image, in proving that they didn't need you, that they completely lost sight of what actually mattered. They were so focused on winning the argument that they didn't realize they were losing the relationship. The 7 of Wands is interesting though, because it tells me that they have been fighting on multiple fronts. They have been dealing with a lot of external pressure. Maybe it's family expectations, maybe it's social circles, maybe it's a karmic partner who won't let them go. There has been this constant battle energy around them, and instead of turning to you, the one person who is actually in their corner, they pushed you away. They isolated themselves. And honestly, Aries, that is the greatest tragedy of this entire situation. Because you were their safe place. You were the one person who wasn't asking them to fight. You were the peace. And they chose the war. They chose the chaos. They chose the ego. But here is where the energy shifts, and this is so important. Spirit is showing me that this interference is weakening. It is being exposed. The karmic attachments that have been holding them captive, they are losing their grip. The third-party energy, if that was present, it is falling apart. The family drama, the external opinions, the social pressure, it is all starting to crumble. Because none of it was built on a foundation of truth. It was built on illusion, on ego, on distraction. And now that your energy is no longer holding it all together, the entire structure is collapsing. I'm feeling this so strongly. It's like a house of cards. Your person built this entire life around avoiding the depth of their feelings for you. They surrounded themselves with noise, with drama, with people and situations that kept them distracted from the truth. And the truth was, they loved you. They loved you deeply, terrifyingly, overwhelmingly. And they didn't know how to handle it. So they ran. They hid behind other people, other situations, other attachments. They used the external drama as an excuse to not face the internal truth. But Aries, the devil card has a shadow side, and the shadow side is this. The chains are an illusion. The chains in the devil card are loose. They can be lifted off at any time. The person in the card is choosing to stay in bondage. And Spirit is showing me that your person is finally realizing that they have been choosing their own suffering. They have been choosing the chaos. They have been choosing the ego over the love. And that realization is breaking them open. The Five of Swords energy is shifting too. They are tired of fighting. They are tired of the conflict, the drama, the constant need to defend themselves. They are realizing that all the battles they fought were pointless because the person they actually wanted was standing right in front of them the whole time, offering peace. And they rejected it. I'm seeing this so clearly. The Seven of Wands is lowering. They are putting down their weapons. They are stepping off the battlefield. Because they finally understand that the war they were fighting was against themselves. You were never the enemy, Aries. You were the sanctuary. And they are seeing that now with painful clarity. Here is the emotional turn, Aries. Your person is going through an internal reckoning. Every external distraction they used to avoid facing their feelings for you is dissolving. The karmic loops are breaking. The third-party energy is fading. The family drama is settling. And what is left in the wake of all that chaos? Silence. And in that silence, all they can hear is the echo of your voice. All they can feel is the memory of your love. All they can see is the ghost of the person who tried to love them through all of it. They are comparing everything to you, Aries. Every conversation, every interaction, every moment of intimacy. And everything falls short. Because what you offered them wasn't just surface-level attraction or temporary excitement. You offered them depth. You offered them loyalty. You offered them the kind of love that doesn't flinch when things get hard. And they know it. They know they will never find that again. The Tower energy is also present here, and it is significant. The external drama, the karmic attachments, the ego structures, they are all being struck by lightning. Everything false is falling away. And what remains is the truth. And the truth is simple. They love you. They have always loved you. They were just too afraid, too proud, too entangled in their own chaos to accept it. Aries, I need you to understand something. This interference was never about you not being enough. It was never about you lacking something. It was about them being unable to receive what you were offering. It was about their own unworthiness, their own fear, their own emotional immaturity. You could have been perfect, and, honestly, to them, you were, and they still would have run. Because the problem was never your love. The problem was their capacity to hold it. But that capacity is expanding now. The tower has broken open the walls they built around their heart. The chains of the devil are loosening. The swords are being laid down. And what is emerging from the rubble is a person who is finally ready to be honest. Not just with you, but with themselves. They know they mishandled this. They know they let ego and fear dictate their actions. They know they chose the wrong battles. And the regret. Aries, the regret is heavy. It is sitting on their chest like a stone. They can't sleep, they can't eat, they can't focus. Because every time they close their eyes, they see your face. They hear your voice. They feel the warmth of your love. And they know they threw it away for battles that didn't matter and attachments that were never real. The external drama is clearing, Aries. The interference is dissolving. And what is left is the raw, unfiltered truth of their feelings for you. And that truth is about to become impossible for them to ignore. Let's move into chapter 4, because now that the external noise is dissolving, we need to talk about exactly what is happening inside this person's head. The reality of what they've lost is hitting them full force. Aries, I'm shuffling here, and Spirit is showing me the Judgment card alongside the Six of Cups and the Four of Swords. This is a profound combination. The Judgment card is the ultimate way-up call. We talked about this awakening, but Judgment is different from the Tower. The Tower breaks things down. Judgment is the moment you stand in the rubble and finally see the truth of who you are and what you've done. This person is having a true reckoning. They're judging themselves, Aries. And they're finding themselves guilty of taking you for granted. And the Six of Cups? That is the nostalgia card. That is the emotional memory bank. They're drowning in memories of you right now. I'm not gonna lie, they are sitting alone, probably late at night, just replaying moments. The way you laughed, the way you looked at them, the way you made them feel so incredibly safe. Because that is the thing they are realizing most clearly. You were their emotional safety. You were the peace they didn't have to perform for. You were the harbor they could retreat to when the rest of the world was too loud, too demanding, too chaotic. And the Four of Swords here is significant because it shows they are in a state of forced rest. They have been temporarily knocked out of their usual routine. Maybe they are isolated right now, maybe they are just stuck in their own heads, but they cannot escape these thoughts. The distractions are gone, the karmic attachments are fading, and the silence is deafening. In this silence, they are comparing everything, and I mean everything, to you. Listen, this is where we take a subtle emotional turn. They are not just missing your presence, they are missing themselves when they were with you. Do you understand how powerful that is, Aries? When they were with you, they were a better version of themselves. You inspired them to be softer, to be more honest, to be more grounded. Without your energy influencing their life, they feel like they are regressing. They are realizing that the people and situations they surrounded themselves with after you pulled back, those people don't really know them. They don't see their shadows. They don't hold space for their fears. Those people are just echoes. And your person is waking up to the fact that they traded a diamond for a handful of shiny rocks. I'm feeling this so deeply in my heart chakra right now. They know they mishandled the connection. They know they let ego, pride, and fear dictate their actions. They are looking back at the arguments, the stubbornness, the moments they chose to walk away instead of stepping up, and they are filled with this heavy, suffocating regret. They thought they were protecting themselves by keeping you at a distance. They thought if they didn't fully commit, they couldn't get hurt. But now they realize that the distance they created is exactly what is causing them the most pain. They hurt themselves trying to avoid getting hurt. The contrast between what you offered and what they are currently experiencing is staggering to them. You offered them a rare, once-in-a-lifetime kind of loyalty. Aries, your love is not fragile. Your love is a fortress. And they had the keys to the kingdom, but they left them sitting on the table because they were too afraid to walk through the door. Now they are standing out in the cold, looking through the window, realizing the door is locked. Spirit is showing me that this person's internal monologue is shifting from defensive to deeply apologetic. Before, when you were chasing them, their internal monologue was, "I have time. Aries isn't going anywhere." I can do what I want. But now, their internal monologue is panic. It's, oh my God, what have I done? What did I let go of? They are realizing that the emotional safety you provided wasn't a temporary luxury, it was a necessity for their soul. And they threw it away. Aries, they know they undervalued you. This isn't a superficial realization. This is a soul-level understanding. They're seeing your worth with absolute, crystalline clarity. They see that your loyalty wasn't a given, your patience wasn't infinite, and your love wasn't a game to be played. They see that you are the standard, and every interaction they have from this point forward will be measured against the love you gave them. And honestly, everything else is going to feel like a cheap imitation. I feel like I need to validate you here, Aries, because you might have been feeling like you didn't do enough. Like if you had just tried a little harder, communicated a little differently, maybe things would have worked out. Spirit wants you to drop that narrative right now. You did enough. You did more than enough. You did everything you could. The issue was never your effort. The issue was their capacity to receive it. You can serve the most beautiful feast in the world, but if someone's stomach is closed, they won't eat. Their heart was closed. But now, the ice is melting. The judgment energy is breaking open that closed heart, and they are finally feeling the weight of the love they rejected. They are realizing that the peace they are so desperately searching for right now is sitting right in front of them this whole time, wearing an Aries face. They are realizing that you were their home, and they wandered off into the wilderness chasing illusions. And now, the only thing on their mind is how to find their way back. Let's move into Chapter 5, because now we are getting to the exact movement you clicked on this video for. The future movement. What is actually happening tomorrow? What is this big news? Aries, I am pulling the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Two of Cups. If you know tarot, you know exactly what this means. The Eight of Wands is swift, sudden, undeniable communication. It is the arrow flying through the air. It is the text, the call, the message that hits you out of nowhere when you least expect it. And honestly, Spirit is showing me this is happening fast. We are not waiting weeks for this energy to play out. We are looking at tomorrow. We are looking at a sudden break in the silence, a rapid movement of energy that is going to catch you completely off guard. And the Knight of Cups? This is not a casual, hey, how are you text. The Knight of Cups is the knight who rides in with an offering of emotion. This is the apology. This is the confession. This is the bridge building. Your person is going to step forward with their heart in their hands. They are going to try to make amends. The Two of Cups confirms that this is a genuine attempt at reconciliation, a mutual coming together, a desire to finally be on the same page. But let's talk about why this is happening now, because this is crucial. This next move is not coming from a place of impulse, and it is not just because they are lonely. I'm not gonna lie, Aries, they are lonely, but this goes deeper than that. This movement is coming from a completely changed internal state. Remember that judgment energy we talked about in the last chapter? The awakening? They have done the math. They have looked at their life without you, they have faced the wreckage of the external drama, and they have realized that the only thing that makes sense is you. The fear, the ego, the pride, it has all been burned away by the intensity of their regret. They are stepping forward not because they want a quick fix for their ego, but because they are finally ready to surrender. Here is where we take a subtle emotional turn, Aries. I need you to understand the sheer vulnerability it is taking for this person to reach out. For someone who is wrapped in the Devil card, someone who is fighting the Seven of Wands, someone whose entire dynamic with you is built on ego and pride, to put all of that down and say, I was wrong. I mishandled you. I need you is monumental. They are terrified. They are terrified that you are going to ignore them. They are terrified that you have already moved on and that your glow-up means they no longer have a chance. They are sitting there, staring at their phone, typing and deleting, trying to figure out exactly what to say to the person who holds all the power now. And you do hold all the power, Aries. Spirit is showing me this beautiful reversal of the magician energy. Before, they were the ones manipulating the situation, pulling the strings, deciding when to come close and when to pull away. Now you are the magician. You hold the wand. You have the power to decide what happens next. They are completely at your mercy, and for the first time in this connection, they are the ones who have to sweat. They are the ones who have to wait by the phone. They are the ones who have to face the uncertainty of whether the person they love will even respond. I'm feeling this so strongly. The Knight of Cups energy isn't just about a romantic gesture, it's about emotional accountability. They are going to communicate something real. They are going to try to articulate the depth of their realization. Spirit is showing me they might reference a specific moment, a memory, something that proves they have been paying attention to the depth of what you shared. They want you to know that they get it now. They understand the peace they lost. They understand the loyalty they threw away. And they're coming to offer you something different this time. They want to offer you the Two of Cups. They want a true partnership. They want to strip away the ego battles, the karmic interference, the games. They have realized that playing games with an Aries who is standing in her Empress energy is a losing battle. The only way forward is truth. The only way back into your good graces is raw, unfiltered honesty. Aries, I want you to brace yourself, because the Eight of Wands energy can be overwhelming. When this message comes through, it might feel like a flood. All the things they have been holding back, all the realizations they have been sitting with, all the regret they have been drowning in, it is going to come pouring out. It might be a long paragraph. It might be a vulnerable phone call where their voice is shaking. However it manifests, it is going to carry the weight of everything they have been processing in the silence. And here is the beautiful part. This is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of a completely new chapter. Because the person reaching out tomorrow is not the same person who pushed you away. They have been refined by the fire of your absence. They have been humbled by your silence. They are stepping into your life as a changed individual, someone who finally understands the sacredness of the love you offer. They know they have to earn their way back in. They know that a simple, "I'm sorry," isn't going to cut it. They are prepared to show you, through action and consistency, that the old patterns are dead. The tower broke the false structures. Judgment brought the awakening. And now, the Knight of Cups brings the offering of a new beginning. This is the moment the entire dynamic shifts from a painful lesson into a potential destiny path. They are making their move, Aries. The arrow is in the air. Let's move into our final chapter, Chapter 6. Take a deep breath with me, Aries. Just breathe. Because we need to talk about what happens after the arrow lands. We've talked about the message, the call, the sudden breakthrough coming tomorrow. But Spirit wants me to look you right in your spiritual eyes right now and tell you something crucial. You do not have to jump just because they finally decided to speak. I'm shuffling the cards, and we have the World card coming through, alongside the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Aries, the World card is the ultimate sign that a massive karmic cycle has been completed. The suffering, the waiting, the crying over this person, the wondering if you were enough, that cycle is officially over. You have graduated. You have learned the lesson, you have done the shadow work, and you have emerged on the other side. The World card is Spirit's way of giving you a standing ovation. You completed the curriculum of this connection. And, because you completed it, you are now stepping fully into your Nine of Pentacles energy. If you look at the imagery in that card, it's someone standing in a beautiful, lush garden, completely self-sufficient, wrapped in luxury, completely whole. That is you, Aries. You have built a life that is so rich with your own energy, your own peace, and your own self-love that you don't need anyone to complete you. You are the prize. So when that Eight of Wands energy hits tomorrow, when that Knight of Cups rides in with their apology, their confession, their attempt to bridge the gap, I want you to remember your Nine of Pentacles. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, your heart might skip a beat. The old Aries energy might want to instantly fire back, to finally have the validation you've been craving, to let them back in the second they knock. But the new Aries? The elevated Empress Aries? She pauses. She observes. She lets them sweat a little bit, because she knows her peace is too expensive to sell for a quick response. Here is a subtle emotional turn for you to consider. This next movement is entirely on your terms. The Ace of Wands is here, which means the spark, the passion, the fire is absolutely still there. The chemistry hasn't gone anywhere. But this time, you're the one holding the wand. You're the one who decides if and when that fire gets relit. You get to watch them step up. You get to watch them prove that the judgment awakening we talked about was real. You get to test their consistency. Spirit is showing me that this person is going to be incredibly patient with you. They know they don't have the right to demand immediate forgiveness. They know they lost that privilege when they took you for granted. So if you take a day to reply, if you are short with them at first, if you ask them hard questions, they are going to sit there and take it. Because they are just so relieved that you didn't block them. They are so grateful that the door is cracked open even an inch. Aries, I need to reassure you of something deeply. The universe is shifting this entire dynamic in your favor. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to manipulate the situation. You don't have to strategize. Your only job right now is to protect your peace and trust what you already feel intuitively. You felt the shift before they reached out. You felt them thinking about you. You knew in your bones that this wasn't the end of the story. Your intuition has been spot on this entire time, and Spirit is validating that inner knowing right now. I'm feeling such a warm, comforting energy wrapping around you right now. It's like the universe is giving you a big hug and saying, you did good. You held the line. You protected your heart when everyone else was trying to play games with it. The love you gave was real, Aries. It wasn't a waste. It was the catalyst for this person's entire spiritual awakening, even if it hurt you to be the catalyst. But now, it's time to receive. It's time to let someone else pour into you for a change. As we close out this reading for August, I want you to hold your head high. You went from being the one who is undervalued to being the one who is utterly irreplaceable. You went from chasing to being the one who is deeply, desperately sought after. The external drama is clearing, the ego is crumbling, and the truth is standing tall in the center of the room. If you feel called to, drop a 1000 or in the comments to seal in this healing and claim this beautiful, new beginning for yourself. Share this video with anyone who needs to hear it, and make sure you subscribe so we can continue navigating this energy together. Aries, trust your intuition. Protect your peace. And get ready, because tomorrow everything changes. I'm sending you so much love and light. Until next time, take care of yourself.